fucking Underhaven. Demonetized because you said fuck within the first 30 seconds. It's time for the fucking show now.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we're done. We're kicked off of YouTube.
Stand up and shout.
By the way, I fucked up the intro because you were muted when you started talking.
What the fuck? Wait, they didn't get to hear my brilliant...
No, they just missed the fuck shit piss.
Wait, aw, come on. I leave myself on push to talk anyway, so yeah. Let me do my fucking inane ramblings into the microphone. That's basically what the entire podcast is anyway. Might as well just go with it. I just want to dress like the elephantitis in the room. Like, we were gonna have Brad on, but he had to take care of something. This will be a pretty short episode. We're only gonna have a few fucking segments, so we might record something with him maybe even later this week. There's a few things I wanted to talk about. Obviously, the biggest one that we're gonna talk about is Trump got banned from Twitter. We're gonna take a look at an old clip of Bernie Sanders and take a look at a BitChute moron that I found. The second thing I found on BitChute is actually something that is just so fucking insane that we can't play it on the show. It's one of the highest rated, most popular videos on there, and it's just an alt-right joker going around on Omegle. I'm sure you've heard of Omegle before, and asking people what they think of insert racial slur here. It's just him doing that in a Joker costume, and it has like 30,000 views on BitChute of all places. So that means that almost everyone who's watching BitChute has seen the alt-right joker.
Most people like grow out of that by the time they at least mentally pass the age of like 15.
I do want to say this, like, when it comes down to maturity levels, definitely like Melvin, brother of the Joker, is more mature than the alt-right.
Oh yeah, a million times. A million times. I'm using racial pejoratives. Are you offended? I'd rather just hear Melvin, brother of the Joker. Cringe, and my mother's yelling at me to keep it down. Like, whatever. That's
so I kind of have an idea that I want to lay on you and the audience in real time, but I do kind of like the idea of every once in a while we could do like a podcast where we talk about shit that's a little bit too spicy to normally talk about. We could be the anti-BitChute shooter.
Yeah, dude, that'd be dope. We could turn that into
start rivalries,
start debating people even.
Wouldn't it be crazy if BitChute was the best thing to ever happen to Underhaven? Can you imagine that?
I don't know. I don't think I'd go that far, but
definitely a lot of interesting content on there. That's all I can fucking say.
Sure.
So what do you want to talk about first? We've got 3 topics that we can dive into.
Okay. So guys, it has finally happened. You know, Kamala Harris vehemently fought and did everything that she could. She has brought us, finally. Trump has been banned from Twitter. I actually wrote in Kamala rather than Biden in parentheses because Trump needs to be banned from Twitter.
So you voted for real change is what you're telling me. I see.
Yes.
Don't say that too loud. Some people will actually believe it and be like, wait a minute, fuck, goddamn communist. Changing our fucking society.
Yeah, in all seriousness though, Trump's been banned from Twitter, and I ain't crying about it. I think it's about goddamn time. See, I've been saying for a long time that Trump is dangerous, and that if he can do a coup, he will. If he can mount an insurrection against the democracy of this country, he absolutely fucking will. And a lot of people said, oh, that's hyperbolic, oh, that's going too far. And what did I fucking tell y'all? The fucking president led an assault, he incited it, and then fucked off because of course he wouldn't stick around. He has to throw his fucking followers. Trump has been stoking these flames for a long fucking time, and I can only imagine what would have happened if something like this had blown up after 8 years rather than 4.
People are trying to make this out like this is like an anti-freedom of speech thing. Trump would have been banned a long fucking time ago if he was anyone else on Twitter. The only reason why he hasn't been banned is because he's the president. Now everyone is finally fucking starting to realize that no matter what you think of the situation, whether you think that there was cheating involved or not, he's not going to be in office in a couple fucking weeks. All that immunity is going to start to go away. He's actually going to have to fucking pay the consequences for his actions, whatever those were. Twitter has banned people for stupid fucking reasons. This is not one of them. Sorry, but it's not. Like, he said a lot of shit that would have gotten anybody else banned on Twitter a long time ago.
Twitter has the right to ban people. I'm sorry. You can talk about free speech all you want, but I mean, well, first of all, this doesn't even fall under free speech because Trump is basically in a roundabout way inciting violence. So I don't think that even falls under free speech. I think he can be held legally accountable for what he said and did. Even aside from that, websites have a right to have a TOS. Oh, this is a slippery slope and more of us are just going to get banned and it's just going to be less and less free speech. Guys, I'm sorry. The way the internet works, there's going to be TOS or these companies are just not going to let us speak on their websites.
Regardless of what you think about it, that's just not how businesses work. And if you're just going to have a hive that ends up being a fucking right-wing shithole like BitChute, unfortunately, when you try to make a website that's like a free speech bastion, it's always going to attract those types of people who are just going to be relentless fucking assholes. And they're always going to use that that to do whatever the fuck that they can to harass people. It's sad, but it's true.
Yep.
Websites with that intention, like Parler and Minds and BitChute, all these fucking websites that try to be like, we want you to be able to say what the fuck you want to say. Great in theory, but all it ends up being is a fucking hive of right-wing morons. Facebook is way too fucking harsh with their bans. They'll ban you for literally anything, while Twitter is kind of too lenient, in my opinion. There's honestly some things that Twitter doesn't take people down for that they should.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and impersonate people and doc drop people on Twitter all you fucking want. You won't get banned unless you do it consistently, over and over and over.
Andy No is someone who absolutely should have been fucking banned off of Twitter months and months ago. I don't know if he got banned in the Twitter purge now, but that dude was doxing people, BLM protests, not even just people that were rioting. He was like doxing anyone who he saw there. He was just taking pictures, posting their fucking names and their workplaces.
It's funny that you mentioned that too, because there's this dude who's been harassing people in the Geek Room community recently. I'm not going to say his actual name. Let's just call him AIU Jr. No, seriously, like they're so fucking bad at argumentation that all they can do. Too. Yeah, well, at least Devin Tracy at least wisened up after he got fucking doxed that maybe it's not a good idea to go around and dox people because they'll end up doing the same fucking shit to me when I fuck around. So that's the fucking thing. A lot of these people, unfortunately, they don't realize that what they're doing is wrong until it ends up fucking happening to them. And it's really sad that ends up being the case. Inevitably, if you're going to fling that shit at somebody, eventually you're going to hit somebody that's going to fling their shit back. People don't realize how much it actually affects people to do that type of shit until it happens to them. Someone in the chat says, I have a theory that the reason he was so desperate to win was that if he wasn't president anymore, that would mean meeting the consequences. That's not a theory, dude. I'm going to have to tell you about something. Truth. That's the actual fucking truth. What you're saying is the legitimate fucking truth, and that's why, exactly what you said right there. So no, it's not a theory. So the only walls that Trump was able to successfully build are the ones closing in on him right now.
True. No, that's what it is. The walls are closing in on Trump. He's desperate. He's afraid. He knows he has a sea of indictments coming down on his ass.
That's not just like a figure of speech to be funny. Like literally, walls he built himself are closing in on him. So
the fact is, I've made this point before. If Trump was like an average citizen, he probably would have received the fucking death penalty. If he was a normal person, a citizen of Florida, yeah, he probably would have. But the fact is, because he's Trump, he gets away with fucking everything. He has zero fucking accountability. When really, the person at the highest fucking office should have the most accountability.
Oh, definitely. If anybody in this fucking country, if anybody in the entire fucking planet, the U.S. president should have the most accountability.
And by most accountability, I also think they should face the steepest punishments if they are caught betraying the fucking trust and goodwill of the American people.
But it's actually the opposite.
There were societies, and I'm not suggesting we do this, but societies in ancient times where if the king wasn't doing a good job, the people would hang the king. That's fucking accountability. This, where like fucking people in power can be the most corrupt.
That's what's rewarded the most in the society these days.
Yeah, and in fact, I'd make the argument that you can't even become president in this country without engaging in some level of corruption.
Just look at Bernie Sanders.
Yep. None of them have clean hands.
Nor do they have clean dicks. I think Trump doesn't know the difference between salutary and statutory.
Probably not. Only place that Trump wasn't banned from was Tumblr.
Wait, they banned porn, but they're gonna let him stay? Are you fucking kidding me?
I know, right? What the fuck?
One of the biggest people on left-wing Twitter decided to follow me. That's fucking crazy. Can't believe that shit. I'm gonna get her on the fucking show. Totally. One of these days.
One of these days.
One of these days. One of these days.
That was like a perfectly wholesome show back in the day. The dude is literally threatening to beat his wife. Fucking punch her so hard that she flies straight to the moon.
Wow, like, when you actually say it like that, Jesus fucking Christ.
I know, right? Shit. You're gonna go right to the moon, you damn bitch. I don't know. What do you think of Parler? I've heard it said now that, oh, well, this is just gonna empower Parler and more people are gonna go there, and Parler has actually, I think, been taken off the Google Play Store, and Apple has threatened to do the same unless they ban Trump. But I've heard, I saw TJ tweeting about this. He was like, this is just going to empower these right-wingers to go and build their own infrastructure.
I mean, no shit, but then it's just going to be a hive of like circle jerking. See, that's what BitChute is.
I really don't care. They can all go to their little fucking Nazi hives. Like, go right ahead. The fact is, they're not on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube going around recruiting and spreading gross misinformation and propaganda.
Now your mom isn't going to stumble across a fucking alt-right meme that tells her like black people are the cause for all the world's problems and something like that.
Exactly, because you know what? I do think anyone has the potential to be swept into this alt-right propaganda.
Anybody.
Yeah. And a lot of young people are. So yeah, no, in terms of like them building their own shit, let them have their hives. Like they'll empower their own shit, but hey, maybe some of them when they come out back to Twitter and Facebook and whatnot, maybe they'll they'll start interacting with people who actually have decent takes.
At the end of the day, I still think that these opinions should be out there somewhere so that people can actually be the ones to refute them. Places like BitChute, that's why I want to gather content on BitChute and respond to it on this show occasionally.
I do want people to be able to say this shit out in the open too, somewhere where it can be seen and where we can know what these people are thinking. A lot of these fucking like right-wing boomers and shit probably don't know that much about tech. It might make it a little bit harder, but it'll also make it harder for us to know what they're talking about, what they're planning, and how to refute them and pull them back, because that's a lot of these people are just people, and I don't ever want to view them as like irredeemable deplorables or whatever.
And you know what else is really fucking important, and I just fucking realized this shit. Alt-right people who have these types of ideas, when they're saying it on Twitter, as much as they can, they're gonna try and like phrase it in a way that seems as digestible as possible. But on a place like BitChute, like I said with the alt-right Joker thing, he was saying slurs nonstop, off and off and off and off and off. They're just gonna go off unfiltered.
No, that is a good point, because yeah, now they're gonna be super unfiltered. They'll say what they're thinking. There won't be dog whistling, at least not as much dog whistling.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, here they need to dog whistle. Yeah, I'd rather have them just saying what they're thinking. Absolutely.
Hello, I want to say, have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful day.
When are we gonna start doing some JF shit, yo?
So maybe by the end of 2021, I'll have one video edited of him.
Okay.
So
just find a timestamp we can comment on, and
well, that does involve listening to JF's dumb fucking ass, but I will do it. I will do it. I will do some of it.
Instead, we can just listen to me. All right. Ethno states are good. White people are good. You know what? In fact, you can have black women too. Any women from other races, but not men, because they will be competing with me sexually, right? Also, and I have actually said this before, I also want to let Asians into my ethno state, but not men, because they are smarter than me. Is too intimidating. Only women of all races, but no men.
All right, Jamie. All right, Jamie. Jesus fucking Christ, you're going too fucking far.
Okay.
I think this will just be one segment, so let's play the BitChute video, and then we'll wrap it up and talk about the Bernie thing at the end.
We're gonna do the BitChute thing first, but then stay tuned.
So we have had a lot that has been going on in relation to what happened in DC.
Okay, can I just say right off the bat, this dude needs to fucking pump some goddamn energy into his videos. Like, what the fuck?
And one of the biggest developments going on right now, as should be no surprise, is censorship. Starting with Trump's continual efforts to call for peace. Essentially, Twitter and the like banned him while trying to call for peace in relation to
Who gives a shit
happened.
if he was doing that? And where did he do it? And when? What are you talking about? All he did was incite more of this bullshit. He didn't call for peace. When did he call for peace? Where? And the worst part is that this guy tries to make the argument. He tries to imply that the reason why they took him down is because he was advocating for peace. Like, he tries to be like, yeah, that's the reason they finally took him down, is because he was advocating for peace, and Twitter hates peace.
What? That's bullshit. He's been fucking... Everyone else was advocating for peace. Why isn't everyone else banned from Twitter then? Maybe it's not because of calling for peace. Maybe it's because of the one thing that Trump did that everyone else didn't do, which was call for fucking violence.
He's the odd man out here. He's the only one who's been saying this fucking bullshit. He's the only one who's been saying it.
Not the only one. Some of those other people are being banned too.
Some of his diehard supporters, sure.
Fuck
like,
Ted Cruz, by the way. Holy fuck, that dude.
I felt like he would have been the first one to jump ship.
What would he call him? Low energy Ted or something?
Low energy Jeb. Fucking Lion Ted. Lion Ted. That was
yeah. Lion Ted, yeah. He's lying about the election result. Holy fuck.
I gotta be honest, that's the only intelligent thing Trump's ever said, is calling him Lion Ted.
With Nancy Pelosi again trying to claim that Trump is mentally unstable, so unstable that he is going to start launching nukes. And you had House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the nation's
Are you literally just gonna read off the fucking article?
Safeguards are in place in case President Donald Trump...
When we have articles up on the show, this is kind of what you do. Like, the article is to like glance over and like use for reference things here and there to like bring up points. You don't actually read it all verbatim, you dumb shit. I feel like this podcast is just becoming us giving this guy a video editing lesson.
Yeah, dude.
There's so much stuff to talk about here. There's no way we could possibly ever cover it all of interest.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I didn't bring up last time the fact that there's actually footage cop taking a selfie, and it was actually in that Baked Alaska thing we looked at.
God, fucking Baked Alaska. I hate that guy.
I do too.
Is it racist to say that I just don't like any IRL streamers? Have you ever seen this asshole who does like these vlogs on YouTube called wild under the hood. He's a real fucking dickbag. I really don't like that.
Yeah,
I
dude,
fuck
fuck
him.
that guy.
Hey, police, do something. We're all watching. That's fucking funny. People in the chat are just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh my god, yeah, that's so true.
All eyes are on you, motherfuckers. Seriously.
Even the chat knows what's up.